guys, welcome to a brand new episode of the Fit Women's Weekly podcast. I cannot believe that we are coming near the end of the year where I think we have, 5.5 weeks left of this year? That's crazy. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this episode of how to get through the year, still maintaining some of your consistency because you don't want to do what 61% of people do, but yet a lot of us will try. So I'm going to help you out. And if you're like, Kindal, that's really vague. What the heck are you talking about? Don't worry. I'm going to dive into it in just a second. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time listening or watching the Fit Women's Weekly podcast, welcome. I hope that there's something in this episode that makes you want to go back and listen to previous episodes. And of course, makes you want to come back and listen to future episodes. Because I put brand new podcasts out every single week, where every week I come on to share fitness news because I've been a trainer now for nearly 20 years. Nutrition news. I'm also a nutrition coach. In all parts of my own personal life, because at the end of the day, I'm not perfect. And also share what's real and what's crap, because there is a lot of crap out there. But we're not talking about crap today. I want to help you maintain some sort of normalcy as we end this year. This is the crazy time, right? Before we do, there has been some new research out talking about how push-ups are actually a way for you to gauge how fit you are. I did a very, very short video, like a 30-second video on it, well, maybe 60-second video on it. I've posted on my Instagram and on my YouTube. If you haven't already, go check it out. But basically, the Mayo Clinic released a little article saying that how many push-ups you can do as you age determines how fit you are, because push-ups are a fantastic total body strength exercise, obviously, working your upper body, your core, your legs. Also is a great test of how strong your core is and your posture. So can you do push-ups? And I'm obviously going to dive a little bit more into it, but I do encourage you to go watch that video and then test yourself. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and go, oh my gosh, I can't do a single push-up. And if that's the case, then it's a sign for you to start upping your strength training a little bit, because especially for women, we do suffer a little bit in our upper body strength. And it's one of those things that we don't like to train very often because a lot of us aren't very good at it. And if you're not very good at it, you're never going to get better. So all that being said, go test your push-up strength, see where you are, see where you fall within the categories, and maybe that should be a goal of yours come 2025. I'm all about goal setting, but we'll talk more about that in next week's episode on how to set real goals and how to actually achieve them versus giving up on them within the first month of January. In this episode, let's talk about how to finish the year out consistently. And what made me think about this is that I was doing some research for an upcoming lead generation offer that we're going to be doing, where I'm giving away my Ignite template. So my Ignite is a 30-day training plan that we do with Fit Women's Weekly Live. And in fact, if you're curious about Fit Women's Weekly Live, we are making it, and by we, I mean my husband and I, he's my business partner. We're making it so that in order to become a full-fledged member, you have to go through our Ignite program first. So Ignite is a 4-week training program that leads you through exactly what workouts to do, how to schedule your workouts, how doing a little something is better than nothing, and really helps to just create a fitness lifestyle. But on top of that, it helps you decide if you like the type of training that I deliver, if you like me as your personal trainer and as your workout partner. And it also helps me to see, is this something that you're able to keep up with? Because I don't like my members to sign up for something and then never use it. So it's kind of a test program for both of us. And then if you go through it and you're like, yes, that was awesome, that's what I needed, then you can sign up for Live and become a full-fledged monthly member with no contracts or anything. Now, this podcast is not about Fit Women's Weekly Live. I'm not trying to sell it on you by any means, but I do want to mention Ignite because one of the lead generation offers that we are doing is I'm giving you the template for Ignite. What days to work out, how long should the workouts be, and then if you have workouts already, all you have to do is plug them in. It's going to be something free. It's going to be coming in the next week or two. But all that to say is I was doing some studying for how I want to write the copy for it. And one thing that I found out was that during the winter, a lot of people give up on their fitness goals, especially in December. So I started doing a little bit more research, and I did find a really specific article. Now, this is pertaining to Britain and British people, but obviously our lifestyles are very similar. So I think that this also absolutely corresponds to Americans too. And basically, what the article says is that 61% of Brits quit working out in the wintertime. Nearly half, 48%, also admit that during the colder months, they find it harder to stick to their normal exercise routine, with Brits swapping out running shoes for screens as they spend 22% more time on their devices during the winter months. In fact, over the next 21 weeks of winter, we will spend 441 hours, that's 3 hours a day, scrolling through videos and memes online. That's crazy, and it doesn't surprise me at all. And overall, 79% say that they think exercise is more important for their mental health than actually looking good. So despite being aware of this health benefit for their mind, 44% still find themselves making excuses to not work out during the wintertime. I get it. It's cold, it's dark, the holidays are super busy, we're stressed out, and a lot of times when we're stressed out, the first thing that we give up on is doing things that we know is good for us, right? Your days are crazy and you are tired by the end of the day, you don't want to work out. So for a lot of people, December just kind of turns into that month where our mindset turns to, you know what? I'll just take this month off and I'll get started in January. But what happens? Because just like that article said, we realize that exercise is just as much a part of our mental health as it is our physical health. So we're already stressed out enough in December. Then we're not working out and doing the things we know makes us feel good. So that makes us feel even more stressed out, more crappy. And you start to kind of fall into this deep winter depression, right? Obviously, it's darker outside, so that's part of it. But then they're also because you're not moving your body the way that you love, you're not getting those endorphins, you're not doing the things that make you feel good that you're doing for yourself. And so it's just even easier to fall even more into a slump. That's one part of it. The other part that I see happen a lot is that you go into this routine of going, I'm going to not give up, but I'm going to take a break for the rest of the year, maybe all through December. Maybe just a workout here or there, and then I'll start back in January, right? It's going to be my New Year's resolution. But then what happens is in January, when you do get started back into your routine, you feel this guilt on yourself because you realize that you have lost fitness. So instead of being able to just hit the ground running forward with your new goals that you've set throughout December, going, once January hits, I'm going to start working on XYZ. Maybe you're going to start working on push-ups. Maybe that's something that you'd already been working on, but because you took the entire month of December off, once January starts, you feel as if you took 2 steps back and you have to make up those 2 steps before you can start moving forward again. So then you feel a little out of shape, you feel guilty for taking the time off, and you just kind of realize, oh crap, now I've got to first make up for that time before I can start moving forward. And for a lot of us, that's kind of a mental roadblock, right? It makes us want to give up before we even get started. When in reality, that's not the case, but I absolutely get it. And can you lose fitness in 1 month? Absolutely. That's about the time that you do start losing muscle mass and losing strength. But that's what I want to cover in this episode is how can you maintain, I'm not talking about trying to get leaner, changing your body composition, adding muscle mass to your body, or getting new PRs for this month. I'm strictly talking about tips to help you maintain your fitness during this last hoorah so that once January does roll around, you can say, all right, I maintained my fitness through December. Now it's time to start a new training plan that's going to help me push forward and start really working on those goals that I want to accomplish. And you can actually start moving forward instead of making up for the time that you lost first before you make those gains. Does that make sense? So first things first, let's actually change your mindset from something that I normally say. We're going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to tell you something different. Normally I talk about how stop thinking about the things that you have to do and talk about it in terms of things that you get to do, right? You get to move your body. That is a privilege. And yes, that is true. However, for the month of December, we're going to flip-flop that. Instead, I want you to work completely on discipline and say, this is something that I have to do. Because at the end of the day, you know that if you fit your workouts in, you're going to feel better. So you might not want to do it, and it might feel like a little bit of a chore getting started. But once you get started, you're going to feel proud of yourself. You're going to feel great. And you're going to remember that the mental aspects that you gain from your fitness are well worth it. So sometimes it's okay to say, man, I have to do this instead of I get to do this. So that's the way that you're going to look at it in December. This is a non-negotiable. Number 2 That doesn't mean that you have to kill yourself at every single workout or have amazing 60-minute workouts. Meet yourself where you are and what you can handle right now. So what can you realistically do? Right now, if you're used to normally working out 4 to 5 days a week, and for most of you guys that listen or watch this podcast, you're probably already into a fitness routine. So if you're used to doing something, you don't have to make it at that intense or as high volume as you're used to. Look at your schedule and think, what can I realistically do? So maybe you can't do 5 workouts every day for the month. That's okay. But can you do 3 workouts? And then commit to doing it. Those are the things that you have to do this month. And does that mean that you maybe have to change your schedule? Maybe you need to do your workouts in the morning versus doing them at night. Now, I'll be honest, nobody likes waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning to work out. I did it this morning to go outside and work on my parallettes. Do I like doing that? No. I would much rather sleep till 6 or 7. But that's when it's capable of getting done with my schedule. If I try to push it off till later, it's not going to get done. I'm tired by the end of the day. I've already done my Fit Women's Weekly Live workouts with the studio. And it's just, if I don't do it first thing in the morning, it's not going to get done. So look at your schedule and say, all right, well, Tuesday is when I would like to fit a workout in, but my kid has, I don't know, a Christmas pageant that night, or I have a work party that evening. I have happy hour with friends. Okay, well then Tuesday afternoon is not going to work. So maybe that's going to be a morning where you have to work out. And if you're used to working out at 60 minutes, shorten your workout and do 30-minute workouts instead. Just make them very intentional and plan them out. Have a plan before you go into every workout session, and that's going to help it to become more efficient so that you can get in and get out. And then my last tip with this is that every little bit helps. It's about being consistent over being perfect. And even 5 minutes of exercise is shown to have mental benefits to us and physical benefits to us. So if you only have 5 minutes, head over to the YouTube channel. I'll post it up because I've got tons of 5-minute fit finishers. And let me tell you, those workouts, when you are finished with them, you are huffing and puffing and you'll be able to say, at least I did something. So maintain some sort of routine, whether that's 2 workouts or 3 workouts, figure it out, but don't expect perfection. Don't expect what you can do the other 10 to 11 months of the year. Give yourself some grace, but stick to your plan that you set ahead of time and go in with a plan, AKA what you're going to be doing during your training block. Number 3, be flexible. This kind of goes off of number 2, but if you normally work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you have a holiday party on Monday, instead of saying, well, I guess I just can't work out and I'm only going to do Wednesday and Friday, can you move it to Tuesday? Can you change your schedule around a little bit? Have that flexibility. Or like I mentioned before, if you normally work out in the afternoons, can you work out in the morning? Can you get up 30 minutes earlier and knock something out? And you don't have to be able to go to the gym. Maybe this is the time where you're like, okay, again, you're not chasing PRs. You're doing this to help maintain your fitness, which takes very little effort. You're not having to lift as heavy. As long as you're using those muscles, you're most likely going to maintain your fitness. So maybe this is a time that instead of going to the gym and lifting weights, you're focused on just getting some body weight workouts done in your basement or in your living room or in your garage, wherever that case may be. So allow yourself the flexibility to let fitness fit into your schedule versus trying to make your life fit into your fitness. It's just maybe not going to happen at this time of year. Number 4, have a plan set for January, something that you're looking forward to. You might be in maintenance mode in December, but are you itching to jump into something in 2025? For me personally, I cannot wait. I'm slowly starting to get back into it. I'm using my own tips right now for December. But come January, I am ready to jump into some really big things with my fitness. I want to get back into running. I want to get back into long distance running. I might even have the goal of trying to do something crazy like a 100-miler in the year. And January is all about getting started with that. I'm not setting these huge goals of trying to change my life around. That's not what it is. We'll talk about again that next week when we talk about setting realistic expectations for New Year's resolutions. But I am starting to think ahead and get myself excited, because if you're excited for January, you're going to want to start doing those little things now that can make it easier to get started in January. So start looking ahead, being like, okay, What does that mean come January? Am I going to start using a personal trainer? Is there a particular program that maybe I want to go ahead and commit to that starts in January, but I'm going to go ahead and sign up for it now? Fit Women's Weekly Live. I'll talk more about that at the end. So just kind of start thinking about those plans and getting yourself excited about something. And then number 5, have a workout wifey. If you've been a longtime podcast listener, you know that my workout best friend, Alex, she was my first workout partner. We worked out for years together, 2 to 3 days a week. We did competitions together, and basically I talked to her more than my husband. So our husbands would be like, "Is she your wife? Is there something that you need to tell me?" And so we dubbed each other our workout wifey. But every day, regardless whether we were working out together or not, we would check in with one another and say, "Hey, this is what I did. Oh my gosh, I lifted this weight today. Oh my gosh, this happened. Here's how I felt," or "I felt like crap today." But it really helps having someone that you can check in with, because on the days that you don't want to work out, you know you're going to be checking in with your workout wifey, and that's going to help you say, okay, I don't want to tell her that I didn't work out today or that I gave up just because I wasn't in the mood. You want to be able to share successes. I did this, because then it's going to help you succeed, but it's also going to help them succeed, right? So have somebody that you can check in with, whether that is one of your workout best friends, your spouse, or somebody in some sort of fitness community. Again, Fit Women's Weekly Live, not doing this purposely, but these tips do flow seamlessly in with the whole reason I created Fit Women's Weekly. And then finally, number 6, don't focus on taking anything out of your nutrition. I can't talk about staying consistent with exercise without, of course, highlighting a little bit on nutrition. But at the end of the day, don't stress out. It is a few weeks out of the year. You're going to have probably temptations around you. And if your mom makes some special gingerbread cookies only this time of year, eat the gingerbread cookies. My mom makes the best fudge. It is my grandfather's fudge recipe. She makes it every year. It is amazing. I'm not going to deprive myself of that. If I go for a holiday party, I love a good cocktail. I'm not going to say no to that. I'm going to enjoy myself. However, what I am going to do is making sure that I focus on the other elements of nutrition that help keep things balanced and help me feel good. Because if I just give up nutrition altogether and I just eat all the holiday crap every single day, I'm going to feel crappy too, right? And if you feel crappy, it's going to be a lot harder to get your workouts in and to stay consistent with that. So when I talk about that, what I mean by staying consistent with your healthy habits is continue to make protein a part of your day. Make sure that every meal that you have contains some good sources of protein. If you want to get really specific, try to make it so that every meal has 30 to 40 grams of protein in it. Fiber. Make sure that every meal you have has some sort of plant product in it, so that you're getting a good source of fiber in there as well. You want to try to get 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day. And generally speaking, if you have about a half a cup to a cup of veg per meal, then you're going to hit that really easy. And third, hydration. Make sure that you're drinking water, that you're keeping yourself hydrated. That's also going to help with your hunger cues. It's also going to help you just feel better throughout the day. It makes your skin glow. You don't want to get that grayness, especially as it gets cold and your skin gets dry. I feel like hydration during the summer is really easy to hit. When you're hot, you're thirsty. When you're cold, at least for me, I'm not as thirsty, even though I know that I'm probably more dehydrated because of the dryness in the air. So focus on protein, focus on fiber, getting those veggies in, and focus on hydration. And then you can put in the other things that you want on top of that. So don't think about things that you need to take away. Just focus on those things. And people will often say, well, how do you know that you're getting the right amount of stuff? I saw somebody talk about recently, I think it was Doc Liz Fitness, I think is her name. It's Dr. Alyssa. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she just talked about how when people ask her those questions, really it comes down to just make sure that you're eating meals, as much real food as you can, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you're making sure that those 3 meals have a protein, a carb, and a healthy fat, then at the end of the day, you're doing amazing. You're doing better than most people, especially most Americans. So give yourself a pat on the back and make that your priority this month. And then if you do feel a little bloated, a little blah come January, then you could always go into a little deficit the right way at that time, which I'm happy to help you with. But for right now, let's not worry about deficit. This month is about maintenance and about staying consistent so that, again, come January, you're ready to hit the ground moving forward and you're not feeling as if you just took steps back. So the last things that I quickly want to talk about, because that's the main chunk for today, I just have two other things. Number one, every single year I do a Thanksgiving group workout live at the Fit Women's Weekly Facebook page. Not my private Fit Women's Weekly live group. This is actually the business page open to anybody. I am going live on Thursday morning, Thanksgiving morning at 8:30 a.m. for a body weight only, no equipment workout. It'll be about a 30-minute workout. But I'm giving it 45 minutes so that we can chit chat and I can answer any questions that you have. But we're going to go through, it'll be great for all fitness levels, whether you're beginner or advanced. So if you have family that's staying in and they want to work out with you as well, come join me for that. The event is already up on the Facebook page. I will link it down in the show notes. Go get the details and RSVP. The great thing about this is you don't have to work out. People ask that all the time. Do I think that it's important to do some sort of workout on Thanksgiving? No, but if you are like me and before the chaos of the day begins, before you start stuffing your face, because I'm going to eat all this stuff on Thanksgiving, I do enjoy moving my body and sweating in some way, but I also don't like fighting traffic to get down to a turkey run. I don't enjoy running with thousands of people. If I'm going to pay that much money, I want it to be something that I'm actually going to be able to push for, and those big turkey day events where they're just for fun, that's just not my cup of tea. I know plenty of people that love it, but if you do love doing something special that doesn't include something like that, then put on a sports bra. You can actually even keep on your favorite flannel pajamas, pajama pants, hit play on the workout with me, and we'll work out together right there in your living room. You don't have to leave, but you will get a great workout in. So again, that is my Thanksgiving Day workout. It'll be 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'll have all the details down in the show notes. You can go click RSVP. And then the last thing is I've mentioned a lot about Fit Women's Weekly Live, and I do want to stress the fact that we are doing a 4-week New Year's challenge called the Ignite Challenge. This is actually a monthly program that we are going to be doing the first Monday of every single month, because the way that we're structuring it is, like I mentioned, with Fit Women's Weekly, I want you to be able to test it out before you say, yes, I want to commit to a month-to-month program, which you can still cancel at any time, but I do get that people enjoy having something that has a start date and an end date. And then if you want to continue after that, awesome. So January 6th begins our next Ignite program. Details will be coming out very soon. You'll be able to lock in your spot because spots are very limited. And with that, you'll also get my free December training plan that I talked about at the beginning as well, where it's my template. It tells you what days to work out, what type of workout to do, whether it's a total body, an upper body day. I'm going to challenge you this day, do a 60-minute workout. This day, do a 30-minute workout. Oh, you don't have time for that? Well, every single day I also do a busy woman's goal. So if you don't have time for the 30-minute workout, then like I mentioned, something is better than nothing. I also give like a 10-minute workout to do on those days. I give ideas for nutrition challenges. I give ideas for fit quickies. And if you don't know what all that means, then it's just one more reason to go check it out. But again, those details will be coming out soon, but I do want to put it in your head so that you start to create your plan for January, and hopefully that could be the Ignite Challenge where you can work out with me. I will be your workout wifey and your personal trainer, as well as the other community of ladies that are in the Fit Women's Weekly Live space. All right. That's what I got today. If you have any questions, let me know. And I would love to know more about what your month looks like. Do you have to slow down a little bit with your fitness? Have you in the past tended to just kind of give up this month? If that's the case, what can you do moving forward so that you are able to stay consistent and maintain your fitness? And again, if you have any questions that go along with this with this podcast episode, let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can ask it down below in the comments, which make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening to this, you can always slide into my DMs over on Instagram, Kindal Boyle Fitness, or email me, Kindle at fitwomensweekly.com. And yes, Kindle is spelled very unique. It is Kindal. All right, you guys, down below is also ways that you can help support the channel. Buy me a holiday coffee. I am so excited for Starbucks holiday drinks. I got to get myself a peppermint mocha. That's my favorite. I treat myself to about 1 or 2 per year, and it is time. All right, you guys. But as a reminder, no matter what you're listening to, leave a review, subscribe, and I will be back in just a couple of days. I put out a brand new episode on the audio podcast version every Friday for our Friday Fit Quickie podcast, so check that out. All right, you guys. Mwah, mwah. Bye.